G'day, it's Michael Guest here to talk a little bit about owner hooks. So these are the SSW circle hooks. They come from 4.0 right up to 10.0 and cover a whole range of different styles of fishing or different types of fish that you want to target. Owner's been around for 50 years. Quality is what they're all about. Japanese hook manufacturing company. Anyone who's ever used Owner swears by them, and I'm exactly the same. We use them religiously throughout real action. Big thing with circle hooks, and the thing to remember is not to strike. And if you haven't used circle hooks before, it can take a little bit of getting used to, but they're so good, especially today where we're talking about sustainability a lot. Catch and release is a really big thing, and you know with the circle hook, the fish is going to be hooked in the corner of the jaw. So when a fish takes a bait that's rigged on a circle hook, that might be a live bait or a dead bait. So let's say it's a live bait that I've pinned through the nose, and it eats that bait with that circle hook and then moves away, so moves towards you. That circle hook will turn and lock into the corner of the jaw every time, and you know, especially if it's a big powerful fish, that you can really put some hurt on that fish or put some weight on that fish to turn it, get it away from the structure, get it up off the bottom, and hopefully land it. If the rest of your gear's right, at least you know that circle hook's not going anywhere. So circle hooks are fantastic for big pelagic fish like marlin, where certainly for me 100% catch and release. So inshore black marlin, striped marlin, even blue marlin on those 10.0 circle hooks. And I know when that fish is jumping around the ocean that circle hook's locked in the corner of the jaw. It hasn't gone down into the internal system of the fish. It's not going to get caught up in the gill rakers. And I can just trim that off and that fish can swim off. So they've got what we call a needle point, so a super fine chemically sharpened hook. They're in that black nickel chrome finish, so they blend in with the surroundings pretty well. Also great for fish like snapper and mulloway that pick up a bait and go, but probably kingfish are one fish that I 100% use circle hooks for. In deep water, when you've got big drops, maybe even down to 200 metres, and you've got a long wind up bouncing around on braid, circle hooks, once they're locked in the corner of the jaw, you know that fish is going to stay, say, pinned in the corner. It's not going to fall off by having a hook that's sort of going to wear a bit of a hole in the fish on those long winds back to the top. But I reckon kingies are one of the cool ones to catch with circle hooks. I love catching big kings and letting them go. And once again, you know you've got the strength of that hook where you can really swing off that fish when you're hooked up. One really big fish that I did catch on a circle hook recently was a black dew out off Rockhampton. And it was just in one of those areas, fairly scary sort of bottom. I marked a big fish on the sounder, dropped a whole cuttlefish head down. So it was on the 9.0 circle hook. I had really good hook exposure, and that's important when you're using big baits like squid heads and cuttlefish heads. Hooked this fish, didn't know if it was a cobia, I didn't know if it was a shark, I didn't know what it was, and when it came up, here it is, this big black jewfish. But one thing I did know is I could really swing off it because I was pretty positive that hook was locked into the corner of the jaw. So whether you're catching a big cobia or a black jewfish like that, it gives you lots of confidence.